begin with Her Excellency Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, former President, Republic of the Philippines, Congresswoman, House of Representatives. Honorable Senator Bam Aquino, Senate of the Philippines. Honorable Secretary Ramon Lopez of the Department of Trade and Industry and 2017 ASEAN Economic Ministers Chair Philippines. Dr. William Dar, President, Inang Lupa Movement, former Secretary, Department of Agriculture, Philippines. And right next to me, Rami Sharaf, the Senior Vice President, the Royal Group, Cambodia. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get the discussion started with Congressman Arroyo. As I was looking through the notes and I realized, you know, during the time that you were president for 9 years, the term they used wasn't MSMEs. And I got to know this when I was still a cub reporter. It was MSE, SME, small and medium enterprises. But back then, you were a strong advocate of helping SMEs. I'm wondering now, fast forward to 2017, what sort of differences and evolution have SMEs gone through that are now termed MSMEs, and how do you think an enabling environment can actually be made to help them rise to the global value chain of the ASEAN?
Well, Kathy, let me begin by sharing some of my experience. It was SME in the beginning, and then we had a separate policy. In 2008, we passed the Magna Carta for micro, small, and medium enterprises. That was when we integrated policy. But in the beginning, in 2001, 2 months into my presidency, America went into recession. Our exports went down. So our economic managers started to brainstorm how do we boost domestic demand for the export demand that we're losing. And the answer was SMEs. At that time, SMEs was separate from microfinance. That's what they said, SMEs. And so we discussed with the SMEs, how do we push you? And their biggest need at that time, and up to now I think, was credit. They were complaining about an old policy that had been repealed in the past. The old policy was for the government to guarantee their loans, their private loans, and then the previous government took that out. So they said, you've got to bring that back. So we did. At the same time, microfinance was coming in. And we decided to make microfinance a cornerstone in our drive to develop entrepreneurship. And it was about that time when the first micro-lending program, Opportunity Microfinance, became a central bank licensed bank. So that was in 2001. And then in 2002, the American recession, or the American economy was still slowing down. But I learned things from my ASEAN neighbors and my Asian neighbors. And we set up the One Town, One Product program, which we started first in Malacanang, and then gave it for institutionalization to the Department of Trade and Industry. At this time, Congress was doing also a lot of work. The Villar Senator and Congresswoman Villar had a pet bill, the Barangay Micro Business Enterprise bill, which became a law. And the most important incentive of that law was that it exempted micro enterprises from the minimum wage law. Came 2003, the Department of Trade and Industry came up with this comprehensive SME development plan. And while it was comprehensive training, technology, etc., the centerpiece was the Unified Lending Program, whereby the government financial institutions had a unified policy with regard to accrediting more conduits, lowering lending rates, and also relaxing collateral and documentary requirements. So that was 2003. And then in 2004, in our new medium-term development plan after the elections, it was still called SMEs, became a major thrust, and because microfinance and agribusiness, SMEs and agribusiness were found to have the highest job to investment ratio. So our medium-term development plan called for supporting 3 million entrepreneurs with credit and technology and market assistance, and we will exceed that target because by the end of my term, we had supported 7 million entrepreneurs. In 2005, I did a very, very wise thing. I got Joey Concepcion to be my consultant for entrepreneurship. And that was when Negosyo was born. And now we have the fruits of Negosyo that are beginning to really make waves in the Philippines and in ASEAN. And in 2008, as I said, we had another important legislation whereby we integrated support for micro-enterprises and small enterprises, and the SME sector became MSME sector in 2008. In 2009, we inaugurated our 150th billion microfinance loans by having a 50 billion loan from the Land Bank to the Bulacan Cooperative Bank. And that year, we were named by the Global Microfinance Index. Is that the name of the organization? Let me see. As the best microfinance country in terms of regulatory framework. So here we are. And in 2009, we also survived the world crisis again, like in 2001. So here we are now. How do we transform MSMEs, or micro and small enterprises, from a buffer against a global slowdown to a positive force for growth in the country and in the region? And that is what we are here to talk about today. And our term of reference say especially in trade, services, and agriculture. So how do we do it in trade? 50% of our micro and small enterprises are in trade. How do we give them higher value added? Not just to help the country survive, but to help the country thrive. And Prime Minister Razak was very right when he said digital technology. We have to bring them to the world of digital technology. That means that, why? Because payments are easier. Think PayPal. And then you can also have, it's also easier to be able to place orders and confirm orders by email. So it is very important. Digital technology is going to be the key to making trade world-class rather than mom and pop. But we also need government infrastructure for that, because that is also what Prime Minister Razak said. We have to develop, when he's talking to us in the holding room about developing infrastructure, because we're not 11 in infrastructure in the world today, and asking the world, he said we're not only talking about physical infrastructure, but also digital infrastructure. So if you want to bring the trade, micro and small enterprises into the formal and the formal economy, and also into the economy that is going to be a driver for growth, they need digital infrastructure. What about services? Almost 30% of our micro and small enterprises are services. Typically, restaurants, rentals, transportation. So what do they need? Market access. Again, how do they get market access? Again, it's digital infrastructure. Think of Airbnb for hotels. Think of Uber for transportation. So those are the ways, again, to bring our micro and small enterprises in services from smaller operations to, they may remain small, but very prosperous operations. And then finally, agriculture. When we were talking about 50% trade, we're talking about 30% services. Agriculture, micro and small enterprises, less than 1% of all micro and small enterprise. And William Dar will know more about this when it's his turn to speak. So I will not talk about the supply side interventions in detail, but what I can say is we need one important policy to increase the number of micro and small entrepreneurs in agriculture, and that is we have to have a law to make farmland eligible for collateral. So there are things that I was able to do, there's things that I would have wanted to do, but wasn't able to do. But then after all, governance is a continuum of administration, and not everybody can build an edifice by themselves. So these are things that we can do looking forward. And the overall requirement would be, of course, finance then as now. We have to give access to the micro and small enterprises to the entire financial ecosystem. It shouldn't just be loans, loans, loans. There are also other elements in the infrastructure, especially leasing and equity. Now, how do you get access to that? That is where Negosyo's Kapatid comes in. They're going to need the big brother for that. In fact, if you look at all the requirements of micro and small enterprises, all the requirements, technology, market access, training, finance, all of them can be accessed by the micro and small enterprise if they have the right big brother. So congratulations, Joey, for making Negosyo that vehicle that is here and should become the driver of growth of this very important sector.